This episode is presented to you by DraftKings. The crown is yours. All right, well, welcome, man. All-Star 25. What is this, Saturday? So it's day 3. Second to last day. I know the NBA got you guys running around crazy. But Mitch said the money is good, though, so he ain't really tripping.
I don't say that too loud. I'm doing everything by charity. So
yeah. But, I mean, as Jack mentioned, I mean, this group right here was instrumental as we were growing up. To be fans and then instrumental in Jack and I's career on the management side, but just really been fans of all three since I can remember. You know, I grew up an hour north of here, and watching these guys when the Kings wasn't shit kind of kept me going. And then Mitch got traded out there. So anyway, but let's get it going, man. Run TMC, a legendary team in the Bay. Now, obviously, you've been removed from the game, but just kind of give yourself flowers like, damn, I was a bad motherfucker. Y'all ever think about that?
Yeah,
Tim does?
Tim answer that one. Yeah.
Tim did that while he was playing. Tim didn't wait till he was done to talk like that?
No, I talk smack every day.
Yeah,
we some bad motherfuckers.
Yeah,
all three of us. Yeah, we love going out there busting people's ass. They just followed me.
That's right.
When I started, they was like, okay. He's ready. Let's go. They was right behind me.
Tim was the mouthpiece.
Yeah, I was the mouthpiece.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
No, you got to have that sometimes because some on the other teams, some people be talking shit.
Yeah, that was Jack.
I'm like, yo, he just not gonna be talking.
I ain't got to
shit.
score to talk shit.
Right.
If Matt score, I'm like, yeah.
Right.
On you, in defense.
I was doing the same thing.
What you used to say to him? He's busting your.
He's busting your ass. He's busting your ass, and keep busting it. There you go.
Man, well, we're going to talk 3 eras of Warriors today. Obviously, Run TMC, we believe in the current day Warriors.
Let's go back to the start from the beginning. Marley, you were the first one to land to the Bay by way of Brooklyn. Set the stage for us how the Bay was in 1985 when you got here before those guys got here.
Yeah, so 85, I came out here. First draft lottery was in 85. Warriors, I think the previous year, they were 20-62. So they and the Clippers had supposed to get the first pick. The Knicks got it with Patrick Ewing. They said the frozen envelope. They didn't have balls at the time. So the Knicks were definitely getting Patrick. So I wound up coming out to the Bay, rebuilding situation. That's what all those lottery picks, we were in rebuilding situations.
10-year playoff drought.
At least, probably. You know, the previous dynasty was Rick Barry. So they had tremendous history here with the Warriors. They came from Philly. So you're talking about Wilt Chamberlain, Paul Arizin, Thomas Shea. Rich history. But like most teams, there's some down slope. So that's when I came into a rebuilding situation. Few years went by. In 88, we drafted Mitch. So I was here for 2 years. We made the playoffs in my second season. Solid team. Sleepy Floyd was a hell of a player. Joe Barry Cowell was an all-star. Larry Smith, you know, we were kind of making our way. George Karl was the coach at that point in time. Then the following year, Nellie came in from Milwaukee as the GM. Made a coaching switch. Nellie went from GM to coach. I mean, a little side note, let's be honest. I was struggling, playing, doing okay, for number 7 pick, struggling. Now, though, I think I was averaging 15 a game, you know. I get about $15 million for that now, but you know, at that point in time, it got me to rehab. I went to rehab.
And rookie of the year, he said he went to rehab.
I went to rehab. But so I made some changes in my life. When I came back to the team, Nellie had traded like half the team, so he was going to revamp the whole organization. So that was 87, 88. That's the next draft. We drafted Mitch. So that was the start. You know, Mitch showed up from day one, ready to play. He was a pro on day one. You know, he played JC, played 2 years at K-State. Rookie of the year, 20 points per game as a rookie. All of a sudden, the organization had some juice. It was coming back. The following year, we drafted Tim. Then we had something.
Together.
Then we had something special. And Tim, you know, we just were joking, but he was our mouthpiece. He was Steven Jackson or Draymond Green with 2010 and you know, with crazy numbers. Yeah. So he changed the whole dynamic. All of a sudden, we had a guy, you think about back then, Magic, Gary Payton, Kevin Johnson, Stockton, and Tim was, as he would say, busting their ass. You know, Tim was so good, and you guys played for Nellie. Tim was so good. Nellie had to, like, slow him down a little bit because he could beat his man every single time, all the time. But the problem was we weren't up there yet. He beat his man. He's going 1-on-5. He had no one to pass to. So Nellie said, look, give the ball up once. When you get it back, then attack. Yeah. Let everyone catch up to you. That's how good Tim was. Yeah. And then he made our job so much easier. Yeah. And like your team, we had tremendous role players. You know,
during this time, the state of the league was crazy. Like, it was really the cocaine era. You know, and when y'all was coming together, like the rumor is the Hyatt downtown, where the practice field, that's where everybody used to score at. A lot of players used to score at. Was that the spot?
And we're not talking about basketball.
No, we're not talking about basketball.
It's a little change of direction.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about around the time when y'all coming together, how the league was.
Yeah. No question.
Right at the airport. Right there at the airport.
Right at the airport.
Yeah. So I came in 85. David Stern, just for a little history lesson here. David Stern came in, and it was not against players. He wanted to sell the league. The league was known as a drug-riddled,
too black,
crime, whatever. But it was a reflection of what was going on in society.
Right.
Wherever we grew up. So I grew up in New York City. In the 80s, Wall Street was loaded with
cocaine.
Everyone was making money. It was supposedly a choice of the high society.
Right.
So that filtered through everything. It was nothing but a reflection of society. But David Stern wanted to sell the league to Madison Avenue. So that's where the dress code came from. Yeah. That's where, so you remember we used to fly commercial. We'd have to put on our blazers and to present ourselves.
We need that back.
That was a big vision, a big plan to sell the league. Yeah. But Jack, to your point, yes.
Oakland was different in 85.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So the Hyatt. But let me tell you something. We talked about this yesterday. You learn from people's mistakes. Right. So right in front of me, growing up in Brooklyn, Michael Ray Richardson. He was basically Magic Johnson. There was other players, I can't remember, guys that had drug problems. Michael was suspended. So all of a sudden you see those ramifications.
Right.
It's a wake-up call. But you have to make adjustments. You can't just get scared. That's why I went to rehab. I went because I was struggling, dude. I found myself going from loving the game to missing practice. Like what the fuck is going on here?
Was it alcohol?
Alcohol? Yeah. And, look, exclusively, no, right? But that was my choice. That was my drug of choice. But to get help, you got to get to the root of the problem.
You got to be in you.
And there was people in front of me that did that. So I didn't feel alone, right? So anyway, make a long story short, you make adjustments and then you get repaid. So think about this. So in 87, 88, I went December 13th, 1987. Through Christmas, through the holidays. And I remember I was probably a mile from the Forum. I was at Centinela Hospital, in a hospital sitting there, and then got out after 35 or 40 days. I come back on Southwest, and I'm reading the paper. I'm reading the paper in the joint, like, oh, they bought another small photo. Damn. Nellie's really trying to get my spot away.
Yeah.
So I come back to Oakland, get off the flight. The team's going to LA to play the Clippers. I'm looking, okay. I see all the guys trying to take my job. Yeah. I went right to the gym, started training. So from 88, coming out of rehab, 4 years later, I was in the Olympics.
Yeah, but
due to a lot of people's but teammates, coaches, support system, right? So that's and I give David Stern a lot of credit because he made this league ultra professional. Like it's a privilege, right? You don't just show up and take, you got to give back as well.
Right.
You say Mitch Richmond in 88 gets the Rookie of the Year, and you guys kind of feel like you have some momentum. Tim, your story is hilarious, and I want you to share it with everyone because Nellie pulled a fast one to end up landing you. You were supposed to go higher than you went, but how come you ended up falling to the Warriors?
Yeah, he took all my money away. I was supposed to be a lottery pick. Minnesota, Indiana, Bill Musselman, his son really hates him, Nellie, to this day right now. He's like, he killed his dad's career because he picked Pooh Richardson instead of me. Yeah, I was supposed to go to them places, and Nellie was calling everybody saying, hey, he got bad knees. He only going to last 2 or 3 years. Don't pick him. That'd be the worst pick of your career. You're going to get fired the next year. He was telling coaches that, and then he ends up getting me. picking me at 14. But it was blessing in disguise, you know, coming to Golden State, to the Bay Area with, like we said, we had great complementary players, but with Mitch and Mullin, it's just like I fit right into that puzzle and everything just clicked. First thing Mullin said after our press conference, he said, "What you want to do?" I said, "Man, I haven't played ball in 4 or 5 days. I want to go hoop." We was like, "Let's go." We went straight to the gym and started hooping. We hooped for about 3 hours. Oh, man. And we just clicked right away. You know, Nellie knew what he was doing. Mm-hmm. He knew what I could do and how I can do it and how I could fit right in with this puzzle. And it was great.
What up, y'all? This is Matt.
Your boy Stak.
From the All the Smoke podcast.
Big news. We're teaming up with the ultimate sneaker plug, StockX.
You see it. It's on our feed. Let me put you on to something real quick. If you're serious about sneakers and style, you need to be on StockX.
For the Raz kicks to the latest releases, StockX gives you access to everything you need to level up your game. No more missing out, just straight up access to what's next.
Head to StockX.com or download the StockX app to level up your collection.
It's the game changer. StockX. Now you know. You ever had one of those moments when you want to elevate your night? Maybe it's a dinner with friends or a celebration that calls for something extra. That's where Grand Marnier comes in. You probably heard of it, but have you tried the signature drink? The Grand Margarita. It's the twist of a classic margarita. It has the smooth richness of Grand Marnier's cognac. And combined with orange liqueur, a bit of citrus, and just the right amount of sweetness, with a taste like that, it's perfect for any occasion. Whether you're chilling at the crib or out with friends, a Grand Marg remixes a regular cocktail into something extraordinary. Don't just settle for a good cocktail when you can have something grand. It's about making your next drink one to remember. So when you're making your next margarita, remix it and make it grand with Grand Marnier. Grand Marnier liqueur, 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. 2025 Kapari America, New York, New York. Drink with style, drink responsibly.
So Mitch, everything is on track now. You got Mullin, you got yourself, and Tim has slid into it. So what's your first impression, whether it's pickup when it first started, training camp, or the beginning of the season? When did you guys know you guys had something special?
I can remember Nellie coming to me, and he was watching tape on Tim before the draft. And he told me to pop in, and he said, "What do you think about this kid?" I started watching a little film. I'm like, man, I like him. You know, I saw him a little bit. I thought he was about 6'5". You know what I mean? Because you can hear him through the TV. You ain't shit, you know, just cussing. Like, you can hear him through the TV. He was saying all crazy stuff. So when I saw him, I'm like, man, yeah, we need somebody like that. Because he was tough. And even though that he was a great scorer, he was a great passer. And so the one thing that I can remember that year when we really took off, Nellie, you know, sat the whole team down and said, hey, Tim is the captain. And when he gets the rebound, when anybody get the rebound, give it to Tim and you guys just run. So at that time, I was just trying to beat Mullin down the court. You know what I mean? Mullin trying to beat me down the court. Everyone was running, man, because, yeah, we knew we had to get down there before Tim.
Right. Or he was shooting that bitch himself.
He was shooting it. So, you know, we had a rule, only 3 of us can shoot the early shot. You know what I mean? If we get down, we could shoot the early shot. But other than that, we had to move the ball. And Nellie would, you know, come into the game sometime before the game and say, listen, we're going to run motion. And if you guys are not sharing it, I'm going to call plays all game. And we're like, hey, man, come on, man. Let's run this motion because Mullin, we had to learn from Mullin as well because Mullin was always moving. So if you didn't move, you had to honor the back pick. Somebody set a back pick, you had to cut. Yeah, because you was helping your other teammate. And so everyone became a point guard. When you had the ball, if you didn't have a good shot for yourself, you had to move it to the next guy. And, you know, Nellie put that confidence in you. If you open, you shoot it. But if you can't shoot that shot, give it up. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we had a good
Another thing, if you thought you was in shape,
yes,
and you come and you see what Mullin was doing,
yes,
you was out of shape. You wasn't in shape. You had to get in shape. Mm-hmm. Keep up with him.
You had to come in shape.
Oh my God, he practiced before practice. He practiced during practice. He practiced. I mean, he on the Stairmaster after practice for an hour.
We was playing here, Tim, the same way.
Right.
Yeah. He was in better shape than us.
Right.
Yes,
And he was upstairs. Yes.
But I got to laugh at that because once again, that was post
Yes.
Right.
Sentinella. That was like a new habit.
Was that a flip?
Better.
What switch flipped for you? Just you kind of saw, like I said, shit, if I don't take this shit serious, I'm gonna be out the league. Or what was the switch?
No, I was like that, and I got derailed.
Yeah.
It kind of went back to it.
Okay.
You know, so it's kind of like it's a great life lesson, really. If you don't pay attention to details, you know, we're all susceptible to different things in life, right? We all are at some point, right? Temptations comes to everybody. So it got the best of me, but with help, I got back. But it's funny because if you talk to Mitch and Tim knew me after that, so they don't know that other side. If you talk to my teammates my first 3 years, they would be like, "Whoa, no, we know a different side." But we all go through that, right, at some point. The other person was John Lucas, was the other guy. I just want to mention him too. He was a big help to mine.
What was your guys' first impression of Nellie? Because we all know Nellie is outside the box. I remember he would bring beers to practice at 10 a.m. or sometimes it'd be Crown in his cup. His dog would come piss on the court.
We're gonna get to your guys' version, right? So when
What
Nellie
version you guys get?
Well, he came first, and he was hat down, couldn't see his eye. He was the GM. He was kind of like overseeing everything, and you could feel that something's getting ready to go down, right? And that's when George was coaching, and then when he made that switch, I'm talking about like attention to detail, notebook, taking notes, pop quizzes, like school.
Yes.
Like he had all his plays. And this is not to, compare generations, but Nellie's first training camp, I think Mitch was there. It was 28 days before the opening night.
That's right. Two a days.
2 days, real
Until the last day. 2 days. And I'm talking about tape, but it was emphasized on fitness, but also organization. So whether it be, in the NBA, you don't see presses. We do a press break because it also promoted passing. So we talked yesterday about Nellie teaching how to play together and then putting sets in later. Whether it be like Tim mentioned, 3 dribble limit, 5 pass. A lot of times our offense was, don't shoot the ball till you make 5 passes. And after that, figure it out. But Nellie was amazing when he's locked in, and you guys know that better than anybody, attention to detail. He was schooled by Red Auerbach. That's really where his teachings came from, and he was able to adjust to different generations.
So you wouldn't have been his favorite at the beginning then, because you don't read or do tests well.
When he gave us that book, my shit stayed in the locker. I had to run the plays. I can't read and figure it out. I have to actually do it.
You guys had the playbook?
Yeah, that didn't work for me, Matt. You're exactly right. I'm proud to say it.
Mitch,
just tell me what you need.
Your thought of Nellie, you're fresh out of college. What's your first impression of Nellie?
I never thought I was going to come to Golden State as well. Back then, when you were a senior, we had the Orlando Classic. And so every player that was supposed to be in the draft played against each other. So they would have 5 or 6 teams, and then NBA coaches will coach the team. Nellie coached me. And end up, like, when I went to that camp, they said I was going to get drafted between 21 and 25. After that camp, they said I was going to be the top 5. Nellie never said anything to me. He was the coach. I would see him in the airport, never said nothing. I've been in the same elevator with him. Like, no, just keep his head down. And so I never thought I was going to come to, Golden State. And so when the draft came, I thought I was going to go to Philly at number 3. But I think they did Charles Smith, and then they traded Hershey Hawkins for Charles Smith. And then Cotton Fitzsimmons was at Phoenix. And he said, if you get to 8, I'm taking you. Because I followed Cotton from junior college to Kansas State, and then he went to coach he was a general manager or something at Phoenix. So when Golden State drafted me, I was like, man, he never would say anything to me. I didn't know anything. But when I first got here, man, I can remember playing in the Olympics because we was on the Olympic team before we went to the camp. And so when we left the Olympics, I flew all the way back to Oakland, went straight to the gym, and Nellie was there. And so I played. I just wanted to get here and get acclimated. Nellie pulled me aside and say, "Man, you were terrible." Man, I say, man, I just took 19 hours on the flight, bro. I just came from Seoul, Korea. I just wanted to come and, it's like, man, you need a lot of work. I'm like, damn. It's like, man, this is going to be tough. You know what I mean? So I remember, and I didn't get signed that year because, I didn't even have training camp. So I had to go. I went to LA for a couple of days, went to Chicago for a couple of days, just started working out. And I didn't meet the team until Hawaii when we were playing the Lakers. And so, but Nellie was great because he put us in such good positions and he gave you confidence. You know what I mean? And he gave us confidence to say, do what you do. You know what I mean? Work on your stuff in practice. When you get to the game, do what you're supposed to do. Don't try nothing in the game. So he was really good at that.
Tim, did you turn your style up, down, keep it the same? When you first got here, what was your first impression and how did you guys bond?
Well, he just let me do what I just do. He just go ahead and just play. And he had the confidence.
What you first do when he tried to change your shot at first?
What, he tried to change my shot?
Yeah, you remember that, do you?
No, I don't remember that. It's always been a knuckleball. it was always flat.
He tried to change it, did. He said, you know what? It was going in.
Yeah,
shoot that thing.
Yeah, if it goes in, why change it? So, but when I first got here, I just had so much respect. And, I come from a situation where you always listen to the coach, always adhere to the coach, always going to do what you can do for the coach. And whatever he says, you're going to go out there and play. But y'all remember that summer league camp that him and Sanders had at where was that at?
New Hampshire. Oh, yes.
He drugged me like 2 days. He was like, son, you're not going to make it. Son, you're not going to make it. First of all, you too short. You're not needed. He was like, you got to get quicker. I want you to do this. I want you to do that. I'm like, and then I go back to the room. I'm like, why the hell he draft me? Why you draft? Why you tell everybody this? Right. And I guess that's to build your confidence up, make you understand. You got to work harder. Right. I want you to think. I want you to go out there and understand what I'm saying. And he did that to me and Sharunas for 2 days, for 10 days.
When did
straight.
Sharunas come into the picture?
Same year. He did that to me and Sharunas for 10 days out in New Hampshire. Sharunas. Sharunas was so frustrated. He was crying.
Yes.
And that's how frustrated.
That's his first introduction, not to cut you off, to the United States was coming in.
He didn't understand the language.
English either.
He didn't understand the language that well too. And then he's listening to Donnie Nelson, and Donnie Nelson is trying to tell him, and he was just getting frustrated. And he's like, "What am I doing wrong?" And man, we just sat in the room one day and we just talked, and we just said, "You know what, Ronnie, we gonna come in, man. We just gonna play, and we just gonna say fuck it." And I guess that's what he wanted us to do. And the next day, it was like the last 2 days, and you could tell the satisfaction on Nellie's face. He didn't say nothing. Right. He didn't say nothing to us, but you could tell the satisfaction on his face. I see you in October, late September. And then, but see, I tell guys today, y'all don't know about, we had 1 or 2 preseason games. Training camp was everything for 30 days, 20, 25 days, right?
Yes.
2 days was like 20 days. Your body's beat the fuck up. You beat up.
Yeah.
And it takes you through a mental psychic, especially if you're a rookie. Man, I'm tired. My body's tired. I'm ready to go home. I don't want to do nothing but sleep. You don't even want to eat.
No.
Yeah, that's how it was.
You didn't have time for that.
You didn't have time for that. Next thing you know, it's bling. You gotta get taped. You in that thing. You sitting down like, man, where am I at, man? Then next thing you know, you start sweating. All right, let's go. And then he started yelling at you. Everybody get yelled at.
Everybody.
And then but yeah, man, I that's where I think the confidence came. I think that's where the camaraderie came from all of us, and we all understood what we need to do to make this team work and to win games. And we was all on one page. Everybody, Rod Higgins, Terry Tego, Tom Tolbert, everybody. Everybody.
Where did the explosion Run TMC hit? First of all, where'd the name come from? And I remember hearing that as a little kid. I mean, I know it had to be bigger than what it was when I heard it, but it was amazing to me. But where did the name come from? And obviously it was a style of play, but how did you guys embrace that name?
Well, they had like a fan involvement. You know, we started scoring big points and, you know, started garnering some excitement, selling the arena out. I think it was actually the San Francisco Chronicle had, you know, fans write in their suggestions. And then Steve Albert, who was our TV announcer at the time, we did something at practice. We pulled a few names out of a hat. And
No, we didn't pull a few names out of the hat. we
Pulled a lot.
We pulled a lot. We stopped the camera. And we started looking at stuff. We was like throwing stuff. It was this big jumbo thing, man. It had to be 1,000 names up in there.
there was some crazy ones, some goofy ones.
Yeah, it was
Run TMC hit, and obviously Jack, you know, ironically, Darryl McDaniel, part of Run DMC, was my classmate at St. John's. So we had gone back, way back to college days. So I was like, yo, that's got to be it. And they were on board. So, and then it's funny how, you know, I mean, I didn't really even know this till way after I finished playing. We only played 2 seasons together. Yeah. So I didn't know that because of the impact that these guys really had. Yeah. But, and then I guess having a nickname does help. It kind of, you know, it has stuck all these years. It's funny how that one little practice session was kind of, we probably did it reluctantly because like, come on, we want to go home. But looking back 35 years later, the little kind of gimmick has stuck forever.
Well, you know what's funny? I mean, you guys got 2 years. We had 1 year.
That
You know what I mean? We believe it was 1 year.
That was 1 year.
1
He
year.
was in the front office. Like, man.
You know what I mean?
The next year?
Remember, because we traded Jay Rich.
Jay Rich left the next year.
You know, but like I said, like you said, the impact of a name can last a lifetime. When I came back here in 2017 and played with those guys and won a championship, they wanted to know, the media wanted to know, and the fans, what was that We Believe team like?
So let me ask you guys, I want to ask you guys this because, Jack, you had a pretty good career before you came here. Matt, you had bounced around, but you had some solid years. What made it different, the We Believe team, and we talked about Nellie, our experience, what made that group different from your other experiences, right? Because again, the short time lived, but the impact in the short amount of time. Talk about your guys' experience with that We Believe team.
I think for me, it's kind of real similar to what y'all said. Like you said, I had my own issues before I came here, but it was Nellie for me. Because when I first came here, you know, my first conversation with us, he got me and BD drunk and told us we the captains. I'd never been the captain of no team. You know, he would just let me know immediately when I got here, I don't care about what you've been through. I know you get your first 7 games here, you suspended. Don't worry about none of that. You are my guy. And he gave me the confidence coming in. I've never had that from anybody since Pop, really. You know, so it was refreshing for me. Then I'm here with all the guys that I knew, BD, Al, you know what I'm saying? I knew all these guys. So it just felt right. And I needed a change. You know, I needed change. So it was a blessing in disguise for y'all bringing me here. That's why I forever appreciate y'all for that.
And I think too, by the time Nellie had us, he had gone to the kind of the positive reinforcement instead of he gave you guys the negative to try to figure it out. He was just really warm from the beginning. I mean, my whole shit, I came and played an open gym. I didn't have a job. And Nellie happened to be watching, and I played well in open gym with Barron, and he came and put his arm around me like, son, where you going to camp? I don't know. He's like, we got a full roster and invites, but if you play like you played today, I'm going to give you a chance. And I beat everybody out, and they cut a couple dudes, and then I went from being on the bench, and he's like, hey, I'm going to give you a shot. He's like, if you're open, shoot the ball. And that's when I went from making 10 3-pointers in my first 4 seasons to over 100 that initial season because it was the confidence that Nellie did. But it started with him, and then, like he said, our bond with our teammates. We were everywhere. I'm sure you guys heard about it. Yeah. We were everywhere together.
Everywhere.
Doing everything.
We heard about it. We were in the front office.
They wasn't doing that.
No, not at all. Hell no, we wasn't
doing none of that before I got here.
You definitely brought that.
None of that. They weren't doing none of that. None of that.
No, I was just sitting.
I was just sitting in my house smoking until Jack made us all smoke.
But see, that's how Nellie is. You know, Nellie was smart. He knew how to put a team together. He knew how to make the pieces work, and he knew which piece that he needed for that team to make it work. Right. We had Tom Tolbert. Tom Tolbert was the joke. Nellie be mad, coming there furious, talking smack, this and that. And Tom would say something funny right after, as soon as he walk out, he'd be like, he'd say something funny. And we like, oh, okay, we good. We good. But that's the way Tom was. But that we needed that. Yeah. You know, Tom would come in from Las Vegas at 4 a.m, come straight to the arena for shoot around, and he'd be like, "Yeah, man, I lost all my money, and I'm still drunk, and so let's get this shit over with, and let's hurry up. All right, we're gonna shoot some jump shots. Nellie got something else going. All right, we're gonna run. Oh shit." He must have known I was out of town. Yeah, motherfucker, you talking. He know. I mean, but that's the way it is. But you gotta have somebody on that team, on your team, that could just take that edge away at times. Yeah. And Nellie knew who that guy was.
Yeah, and I think, you say we played 2 seasons. I think we felt it was longer than that because of the training camps. You know what I mean? We were together every day. I'm just saying, man, we practice it. We together, we back it. So we maybe thought, man, that was 5 years we played together.
Didn't he put some cots out there, some beds out there one time?
Yeah, he put everything out there. We didn't leave the gym.
Yeah, we didn't leave the gym like a couple of days. Just did not leave the gym.
He didn't do us like that.
Oh, man.
Y'all was lucky. Y'all was lucky. I mean, just some of the stuff that he did, like you said, the dog coming in, just
shitting on the court, mid practice. Lucky just walking there. We playing 5-on-5. He just shit on the court. Like, come on, Lucky. Coach is the only coach that I played for that by the time we start practice at 10:30, he done went through a 6-pack.
Oh, no question.
And coaching like he's sober.
No question.
I miss Coach. He was the only coach that actually let us be us. And I think that's why we had success. Shout out, Coach.
Bro, it's been a long day of work, man. I'm ready to get baked.
You ain't never lied.
No. I mean toasted.
Yes, sir.
Gooey. Melted. It's gonna be nice.
Wait a minute, bro. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about Jimmy John's, bro. After years of perfecting the cold sandwich, Jimmy John's is turning up the heat on their sandwich game.
Jimmy John's toasted sandwiches are finally here. Try one of their 3 new toasted sandwiches with, like my favorite, the chicken bacon ranch, roast beef and cheddar, or the ultimate Italian.
Or why not try one of your Jimmy John's favorites, toasted?
Each sandwich is the perfect combination of crunchy and melty. They're here and they're hot.
Order online at jimmyjohns.com, the Jimmy John's app, or stop by your local Jimmy John's for a perfectly toasted sandwich. Satisfy your toast buds.
I've teamed up with DraftKings and their new Pick 6 app. With the NBA season winding down, there's still time to win big. And for the home stretch, DraftKings is giving all new customers a great offer. Right now, new customers play $5 and get $50 instantly in Pick 6 credits. So download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use my promo code SMOKE. Playing Pick 6 is simple. Pick at least 2 players and choose if they'll have more or less of a stat. So download the Pick 6 app now. Sign up using my code SMOKE. Only at DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gino, what are these LA streets looking like these days, man? I ain't been in them in a minute.
Man, it's rough out there, man. The pool of women out there now, whew, you have to have it together, brother.
Are you out there performing though?
I am now.
Are you?
Yes.
What's the secret? No more popsicle sticks and duct tape?
Yo, no. We're way more advanced than that.
Okay,
now,
where you at with it?
They got this row sparks thing that I'm doing.
What's that?
It's a lozenge you drop under your tongue.
Okay.
And you get going. On average, 15 minutes, man, and you ready to go after that, man.
Got your manhood right.
Absolutely. 12 o'clock, you like a rocket.
What's in them?
You're getting a combination of both.
Okay.
Other things that are out there right now. Absolutely.
I only get, one opportunity to make a first impression back here. They haven't seen me for a minute.
Yes, and you don't want to flatline with these girls nowadays, boy, because they'll talk about you. They have you on Instagram.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
They have you on Instagram.
I've been on Instagram enough. I don't need to be on Instagram about this.
Yeah, you need to calm down, too, with that, by the way.
Now, is it consistent or is it just on call, you'll be ready?
I believe it's very consistent. Well, for me, personally, it's consistent. Okay. You know what I mean? And I'm not ashamed to say it.
Okay. I mean, we're all getting a little bit older.
I am old.
You definitely are
yes.
old. Well, I'm glad that you don't have to use the old antics you've been using in these LA streets for a while, and now you have something brand new. So you're almost like a new man out here.
Absolutely. The Cougars love me out there.
Do they?
Yeah, absolutely.
I believe it.
Man.
I believe it.
I'm a good
so
guy.
where can I go and get this?
Man, I got mine from road.co/smoke, man, and they had it right at my front doorstep, man.
If prescribed, new sexual health patients get $15 off Sparks for your first order on a recurring plan. Connect with your provider at road.co/smoke to find out if prescriptions of Rose Sparks is right for you. That's road.co/smoke for $15 off your first order.
Let's get back to y'all, though. In the 91 playoffs, y'all upset the Spurs in the first round. David Robinson, Roy Strickland. How crazy did that go?
Oh, man.
And Oracle Arena around that time. How was it loud? Because we experienced it too.
Not quite as loud as we believe, but on its way there. And that particular series, you mentioned David and Terry Cummins, Rod Strickland. They had a really talented team. Larry Brown was the coach. We lost lost game one. And the first round back then was a 5-game series. So it was a short series. You didn't really have a whole lot of wiggle room. We got blown out that first game. And typical Nellie, he walked in the locker room. He's like, "Oh, we got him. We got him."
He said that.
So
I was
said,
like,
"Come back tomorrow. We're gonna have a little walkthrough." And 2-2-1.
Yep.
So game two, Nellie's adjustment was we had started, I think Tom or maybe Jim Peterson, and matched up with David. In game two, we started us three, Rod Higgins and Mario Ellie.
Small.
So we went ultra small.
Who guarded David?
Rod.
At 6'7"?
Either front the post
And
make
help
him throw
side?
over the top.
Okay.
Exactly. You know the deal.
We
Kind
know
of like
it.
you did Dirk.
Yeah, we know it. Yeah.
But and then we won 3 in a row. So again.
Oh, y'all went down 0-2.
No, we lost one and won 3.
Gentleman's sweep.
Yeah. So just again, you're looking now the way the game's played now, the way you guys played, very similar to what teams are trying to do now. Not as many threes, spreading the floor, attacking the paint, kicking out for open shots. Not really worrying about guarding the big, guard him as a team. Maybe like we did Nowitzki, or we'd always front the post. And Nellie always felt like you can't lose a game by people throwing over the top. They're going to score some, but you're not going to lose the game that way.
What was that matchup like with you and Rod?
Ooh.
yeah, he fucked me up the first game. The first game, he fucked me up. He gave it to me. He gave it to me. But the next day in practice, Nellie said, and we had Greg Popovich as our assistant coach too. Yep, he was our assistant coach. But Nellie went up and started walking around doing his walking around the concourse. And we was down there playing 3-on-3 whole court. We was playing like for about an hour and a half.
The Alamo
right?
Dome, right?
No. It was
back
just
at home?
it was
Before that.
They used to play the ABA.
Yep. So we playing 3-on-3 whole court for about an hour and a half. Nellie come back downstairs like, "Y'all still here?" We was like, "Yeah, man, And Nellie said, "All right, we gonna play horse. I get the first shots, but we gonna play with one ball." They put the ball up. He said, "I got the first shot." He said, "Man, get the fuck up out of here." So we left, and we came back. But it was a different type of air. We came back to the arena the next day. At shoot around, you could just feel the confidence of us just oozing through the whole arena. I mean, you could tell the focus was there, the attention, the detail was there. Guys probably didn't miss shots that whole shoot around. And it was just focus. We came back that night. Yeah, I fucked him up. Yeah. No, yeah, I got him back. But it was, it was collective teamwork with all of us. Mario Ellie, Rod Higgins making threes, timely threes. David Robinson was looking at Larry Brown like,
How the fuck am I supposed to guard
what
that?
the fuck I supposed to do?
Right.
Yeah. He got frustrated because he wasn't getting the ball like he normally do. He couldn't score. Then he was like three. The rules was you can't come down and double team nobody without the ball. So he didn't know what to do. And we throw it back to Rod. And we throw it back to Tom Tolbert. Shoot the three. He was all messed up. And once you get him messed up, then they start talking to each other. And Willie Anderson started talking and stuff. They didn't know what to do, and they started arguing among each other. We was like, "Oh, we got him."
Mitch, when did you know to that point? When did you know in that series that y'all had him in game 2?
Game 1, we were kind of there, but they kind of blew us out. We were just missing shots, and we felt like we could have won the game. And you remember Nellie came in the locker room and said what Mully said, that we got him, but you two motherfuckers got to play some defense. So it's Willie, me and Tim.
Yeah.
Mully was great game 1, I guess. You know what I mean? So he said you two, because Willie had a great game. And Rod had a great game. And so
I was like, I was getting my ass busted.
Yeah. So we switched
it
it up. And once we switched it up with Rod, and Rod was kind of playing that rover like Draymond Green, where you pass it to him, he dribbles, and David couldn't understand what was going on, and we just kept running. And once we got the rebound, it was on.
And David could run around that time. He was an athlete.
He could run.
Chasing a 3-man around.
Yeah, I know.
Right. Getting back screen.
Shout out Rod Higgins, man. That's my guy.
And
even though he
Willie
traded me.
Willie Anderson.
Yeah.
Walkie.
Yeah.
Charlotte.
We all get traded at some point.
Yeah, Milwaukee's different though. You don't like somebody, you send them to Milwaukee. Look, it's personal. Y'all lose to the Lakers in round 2 in '91. Then the offseason, Mitch is traded to Stak. I know that was this kind of
Still
depressing,
make
right?
you exhale.
You don't like somebody, you trade them to side.
And how did what was there? Did you guys know the reason behind that? Was there any strategy behind it? Was it because I've known the best side of Nellie, and then Nellie went bad on me. I don't know if he went bad on you too.
No, he went bad on me.
That motherfucker
He
told-
went bad on me.
Hey Nellie, real quick story. This is my first time really playing and having an opportunity to get money, and I turned down a 3-year extension.
There you go.
And I took just $4 million for 1 year because I felt like, all right, I'm gonna give me one more season. I'm gonna get my 30 or 40 million.
Yes.
My mom died at the beginning of that next season. Once I kind of got out the clouds, Nellie's like, pulled me to the side of the back. I'm glad you didn't sign an extension. Your time here is up. I'm like, damn, Nellie, damn, Nellie, my mom just fucking died. Like, so I saw the best of Nellie and I saw the worst of Nellie within a year.
Yes.
You remember what he said to Patrick O'Brien when he was there?
Oh man,
He told Patrick O'Brien, he said, Patrick, you know what? Out of all my years of coaching, you are the only player that's gotten worse since I've been coaching.
Oh, he was.
What happened,
good
Mitch?
at that.
He was
Man.
brutal.
What do you do
Bro.
to Mike Smrek?
Oh, he does a good shit. Yeah. But I think same thing what you're talking about. Like I can remember at the time we were flying commercial, and I was sitting at the airport, and Nellie came up to me and said, "Hey man, why you not signing the extension?" And I said, "Well, I mean, I just think that I'm worth a little bit more than that." He said, "You must don't want to be here." I said, "Oh no." I said, "No, I want to be here, but I mean, like you're lowballing me my last year. I got another year on my contract. You know what I mean? So I want to be here." He's like, "Oh," I say, "I'm just, you just paid Mully." And I say, he said, Mully was, I say, "Who was the best player?" He said, "Chris Mullin is the best player. Some point in time, you're going to, get up there." And I said, "Okay, so you just paid Mully 3-something, whatever it was. Just put me right below him then. If you don't believe in that, just give me one more year and I'll show you that I'm worth it. But I want to be here. I love this team." After that, boy, I was on the trade block. Every time I looked at the paper, I'm like, God damn, what happened, man? What happened? Then in the preseason, it's the preseason. He playing me crazy than over here in Sacramento. I'm like, something happening. Like, it's the preseason. I'm playing 30 minutes. I'm like, man, something happening, man. The dude trying to trade me.
He had you on display.
Yeah, but I thought he was gonna. I thought he was gonna trade me to Boston and somewhere like that. But he traded me to Sacramento, and I can remember seeing Mully in Denver, getting ready to go down to the bus. Mully sees me in the elevator and going down to the elevator, and he said, "Where you going?" I was going up. He was going down. I said, "I'm going to Nellie's. Going to Nellie's room. I know something going on." So when I opened the door, he had the latch on the door. He's sitting on the back of the window with when they have the air conditioners in the back. I opened the door and I say, "Man, don't tell me you traded me to Sacramento, bro." He said, "I traded you to Sacramento." I just turned right back around and left. And probably didn't speak to him till the time he came back to We Believe.
Really?
Yep. Didn't speak to him at all.
What was y'all thinking at the time, Tim Mully? What was y'all thinking at the time?
We were shocked and upset. I didn't know about those conversations as far as contracting. We didn't involve each other in that stuff. It was like, but yeah, we were shocked. The good thing is we've remained really close despite that, maybe closer. So, Mitch went on and had an incredible career from then on. Tim had 2 incredible careers, one with us, one with Miami. But when something like that happens, this is somewhat, I guess, player empowerment. So we weren't in on that stuff. They didn't consult us. It was totally different. We played, and that was our job, and the ironic thing was when that happened opening night, we came back on a back-to-back and played Sacramento. Mitch didn't play.
I couldn't play.
Couldn't play.
My mind was gone, man. I was
And
was scarred?
Scarred. Go ahead.
But you told us, right? You told us you didn't even move to Sac, right? You was just commuting back and forth. He's still living in the Bay.
I just bought my house in Alameda. And anytime the Warriors had like a team get together, I was with them. I was at Chris' house. I was at Chris' house the whole time. Like, man, this is my team, man. I don't know what y'all talking. I'm just playing summer league down there. Shit. I'm like, man, I was at every Christmas party. I was at Chris' house, the first one there. Like, we are the same team. Like, man, I ain't going down there, man. So my first 3-4 years, I lived in Alameda. I just commuted every day.
But Tim, you remember that game?
Yeah.
Game 2?
Yeah, I remember that game.
Oh,
He
my
walked
God.
into our locker room.
Yeah.
We was like, Mitch,
I walked in their locker room, bro.
he thought, because, we was playing sack. He thought you walked into our locker room.
I was done.
And everybody's like, Mitch. And Mitch was like, he walked right back out. He walked out of the building.
Yes.
Got back in his car and went home.
At first, I went to the locker room, and Dick Motta at the time was the coach. And Dick Motta, I was just sitting in the locker room, man. I don't know. I was a young player. I was a young player, so I'm just sitting in the locker room like, man, my life is over. Like, man, that was my team because we did everything together, man. So I was really hurt. And Dick Motta came and said, hey, you going to get dressed? I say, man, I can't play, man. I mean, that's my team. I can't play, bro. I'm not ready to play.
And Mitch's eyes is watering right now.
Man. I said, I can't play, bro. I can't play.
And actually, it took him a week to get to sack.
Yeah.
He took like a week off because he had to get. I mean, that's how special our team was. That's how special we was to each other. And it still was a business, and we still had to go out there and play. But we knew that something was missing.
Right.
Even though Billy was there, we still was like.
And you had to go and do your job. At the end of the day, they still had to go and play. And I had to figure that out at the end too. But once I got that game, y'all said we lost by 61.
Ooh.
Yeah, lost by 61 points, and so they supposed to have the practice. A few days. They had about 2 or 3 days off after that loss.
Let it sit.
2 or 3 days off. Now I'm coming from Nellie, who we get a win. We practicing. Now they lost by 61. They got 2 days off. I'm like, oh my God.
Open one.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God. So so it was tough to see every day. And then, still being in Sacramento, Golden State, they fled the headlines. You know what I mean? You guys was on the headlines every time, and I'm looking at the paper every day. Damn. Bro, it was tough. I didn't. If y'all see the pictures of my year, I said I was not gonna comb my hair. I said, man, I ain't worried about nothing. I'm just gonna play ball. I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna go hoop. I ain't worried about nothing else. That's it. That's the only thing got me through.
We got a gift for you guys real quick. Okay. I know we got to get you guys out of here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Here's what we got from our amazing partner StockX. So we're gonna get your guys' sizes and send them to you. We got all these for all you, these new Kobe's.
Nice.
Appreciate you, StockX. What size are these? 15s. These must be mine.
Hey, before we roll, Jack, we spoke yesterday. I want to thank you and Matt. First, congratulate you on your post-career success.
Yes.
You set a really high standard for the young generation to follow your lead.
Yes.
So you've been great mentors on this platform, and I want to thank you personally for the joy that you brought to us and to the Bay Area with that much similar to us with that We Believe team. You guys re-energized the organization. Loudest building I ever heard was when you guys were.
Well, you guys, like I said, you guys saved our careers. Like I said,
we did it together.
I was bouncing around. He was coming out of trouble, and like you said, Nellie's foresight to understand the pieces that he needed were important.
Well, it's funny. If you look up here, you may think opposites attract, but similarities attract too.
Right.
We have a lot of similarities.
I mean, over time, when I first got to Golden State, I got to learn more about both of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Even me and you built a better relationship because I really didn't know y'all at all, but I knew of you. But to this day, to right now, to know more about you, Mullin, and to know what you went through, I admire you even more because you don't know these stories.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I've seen you play basketball. I didn't know what you went through off the court. So I had already respected you as a man and as a player, but I respect you even more now.
Well, that's why I like what you guys are doing. Yes. You're bringing stories to light because you can look up the stats, you can look up the wins and losses or championship rings, but the personal relationships that we form but then we can also pass that on to the next generation, right? And help that next generation, navigate their journey. And I feel like you guys are doing a great job of that. So I thank you for that.
Thank you.
And I came up in Texas.
Yeah.
I came up in Texas, so I know a lot about you.
Yeah.
You came up in Texas?
In Texas.
Okay.
So I know a lot about you. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, everything you are a big part of our basketball life and the soundtrack of our life too. So we appreciate you as well.
Thank you.
And definitely too, I think the one reason why we wanted to start this was to be able to celebrate guys like you, because I feel like obviously you guys missed the social media era and everything is overhyped and over dramatized now, but we grew up, I was born in 80. When were you born? 78?
Yep.
So we understood what it used to be like in the grind. Like we talk about load management now, y'all had 28 straight days of do it, there was no such thing. It was
no such thing as
you
load
guys,
management.
it was a badge of honor to play 82. That's how we came up. It was a badge of honor to play 82. So just not forgetting that, the people before you, but obviously when we were able to watch what you guys were able to do for us and inspire us and then get a chance to work with you, then get a chance to know you. So again, man, we want to definitely celebrate you guys. Thank all three of you guys because you've all been on the show individually, but now to come back as a unit, man, we appreciate you guys. Run TMC. We got some more gifts. Mully, you just getting loaded up this trip. Mully got a bag yesterday.
Molly got all type of
It
stuff.
smelled like there's some weed in there too. Is there? Does my nose smell that?
There's no tree in there.
You don't need that medicine. You can just put that
I know some people. Yeah, I know some people.
in there. Put your medicine in there too.
I
You got
asked a
medicine in
question.
there.
Who made that chicken over there?
That shit was good.
It's on fire.
Yeah. She
That
back there
chicken is
somewhere.
on fire.
Make sure y'all get a plate before you leave.
Whoever made that, I need your card. For real.
She in here, so
No, we appreciate you guys, man. Thank you guys. We know you guys got to get going. Thank you guys.
TMC, y'all.
They got to go do some NBA shit, but we're going to do some fan questions real quick. Questions. Anybody with some questions, don't be shy. If you don't want to ask questions, I'm just going to go upstairs and smoke, so. Yes.
Maybe you guys already talked about this, but I'm not sure. What was your response to Luka's trade?
I think the trade put Dallas in a position, if they could stay healthy, to win now. But you don't, as a Laker, I've always been a Laker fan, you don't pass on the opportunity to get a generational star, which I think Luka is. I think the Lakers still need to build around that. I think they found who's next after LeBron, obviously, but for those two guys to win together, they need to add a few big guys. But I think it's great. I think it's great. I think it's fun. I think it's what makes the NBA crazy is you just never know what's going to happen.
So who won from that trade?
I would say Dallas won now and LA won the long game. Don't be shy. Yeah, go ahead.
With the success of the WNBA, do you think the NBA could ever have anything similar to Unrivaled?
I do that when you can just partner up with the big three.
But I wouldn't even say partner with the big three. I think the issue is, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, what the WNBA players are being paid, I think Unrivaled is able to give them something to do in the offseason so they don't have to go overseas and possibly get hurt. But the way the NBA players are making so much money that I don't ever really see, especially with the big three already in existence, I don't ever really see the NBA kind of changing that format or having an NBA offseason because we play 82 games, playoffs, ton of money, and then our break is only really 3 months. So if you did Unrivaled, that's 10 weeks out of 3 months. I just don't see it happening. But I like Unrivaled, though. I think it's dope. I love the one-on-one competition. I like the thought process behind it. And the fact that you can get the best players in your league to all commit to that, that's special.
I think it's just smarter for the NBA just to get behind the big three. All the older players and the Hall of Famers that they trot around all year to Africa and all these other places to raise money for the NBA, these are the coaches of the big three. George Gervin, Dr. J, Gary Payton. All these guys are the head coaches. So why wouldn't you support these guys another time? You support them. We should support them with the big three as well. So I think the NBA should get behind them since it's all their players and all their coaches as well. It makes more sense than anything.
Parenting question. Ooh. So when your kids or kids in your life are on a team where they either are having issues with a coach or they love the coach, what advice do you give kids or kids who play for you how to connect with their coach or get the best out of what the coach can bring to them?
It just depends because I'm in the space as far as coaching. I retired in 17 and I've been coaching my twins since they were 8 and they're 16 now. A lot of these coaches, to be honest with you, can't coach. first and foremost. But I always try to teach my kids the mental side of the game. I feel like the skill development will come, but to be able to make it to the top, it takes a lot of luck, but it takes a strong mental focus and fortitude. So since they were 8, I've been teaching them NBA sets and how to play without the ball and all that kind of stuff. And I wish more coaches would really pour into the mental and the teaching aspect, because I feel like in the AAU space, it's upside down. You know, in Europe, they'll practice 6 days to play 1 game, or practice 1 day to play 8 games on a weekend. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, some of that just gets repetitive. I don't really think you're growing as a player mentally or really skill-wise, because you're just always playing, and playing is a lot different than working. So, but most of the time, if you do have a good coach, talk to them. This is something I learned in the NBA was, because I played on a few teams, I go, what are you looking for me to do? Like when I'm on the court, what do you want me to do? And when that coach tells you that, you got to understand it and do it, because they have to know and trust every time I put Matt out there, every time I put Steven out there, I know what he's going to do. A coach is not going to put someone out there where shit, he might do this, he might not. Like, you don't have a chance then.
You very seldom have wild cards on the court, you know, like you said. But for me, I think parents got to be honest with their kids. You got some parents that'll bring a kid out there, the kid will have no clue why what's going on the court, and you wonder why they're on the bench. But you coming home telling your son he Michael Jordan. You don't even know what a rebound is. Like, so parents got to be, you know what I'm saying, honest with their kids too. You know what I'm saying? If you see that he's just not picking that up, then it's something that he's good at. And that's when you have to become a good parent to take the time to find out what it is, because that could be killing this
May not be
conference.
basketball. Yeah. Might not be basketball. Anybody else? Yeah.
So congratulations again on what you guys are doing. Love it. And this was dope to bring the group together.
Yeah.
You guys have talked about on podcasts before about bringing together the We Believe team
Yeah.
and doing this.
We're supposed to do it. We're supposed to do it later today, but some guys are in and out. Some guys are in. Some guys are in, then they're out. So we're supposed to actually have a We Believe show today, but it's still up in the air. I got to look on my phone. But being able to get that team back has just been tough for some reason. It's been tough. I mean, we still all kind of talk, but getting together is always different, especially because it was more, you know, Run TMC, although they had a team, it was 3. You know what I mean? With We Believe, we were deep. You know, it's Monte, it's Jay, it's Al, it's both of us. You know, it's Beatrice, it's Petrus, you know, and so it's just kind of hard. But we will and still are trying to bring that team back together and also do a documentary on that team. So hopefully we'll be able to accomplish that if it's not this weekend.
But it ain't us.
Yeah,
it ain't me.
No,
I'm with whatever. Yeah, I'm showing up.
We've been trying to get down, so we'll see what happens.
My calendar's clear.
Yeah.
Go upstairs and have your beverage.
Anybody else? Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to ask, just like, you guys started a lot in the Bay Area. I grew up when I had this jacket at 9 years old.
Hell yeah.
So I just wanted to know, like, there's just so much happening in the Bay Area. What are your guys' top 5 Bay Area artists?
Ooh, okay.
It's easy because I grew up in the streets listening to Bay Area music. I grew up on Mac Mall, Spice One, E40, and Short, Richie Rich. But today, definitely La Russell. And Simba, of course.
Simba, Larry June. I just think, you know, because I was born in San Jose and kind of migrated through Oakland and then landed in Sacramento, but just the Bay is always just such a special place to me because, I mean, I live in LA now. I've lived there more than half my life, but like my heart is here because you guys are different. You guys look at things different. You guys move different. You respect different. You value different things. It's real out here. You know, LA is I love LA, but it's a very superficial place and there's a lot of bullshit and a lot of just bullshit talk. Out here it's more about getting it done and being real and being kind and having good places to eat. And although y'all bip like a motherfucker, I still love the Bay.
I didn't know this when I played here, but as later on as I got older, even when talking to Dylan, a lot of people from my hometown, Port Arthur, migrated to Oakland. Yeah, when during the Black Panther era and a lot of that time, a lot of people from Texas migrated to Oakland because they wouldn't get treated right and they felt like Oakland was a safe haven. So I got more ties to Oakland than I know. Yeah.
Anybody? Somebody. Okay, well, yeah, go ahead. Don't be scared.
So, like, when you guys were like doing the We Believe team, like, what was your favorite memory, whether it be on the court or off the court? Just like,
to be honest with you, I would say kicking it and building friendships. You know, obviously Jack and I knew each other a little bit before he got here. we made that historical run that season, but then my mom died at the very beginning of the next season, and Jack was there by my side every step of the way. You know, Barron helped me get on the team, and Barron was my college teammate. And then just getting to grow closer with those guys, Jay Rich, Al, Monte, and the rest of the unit. I would just say the friendships we built off the court, the fun we had off the court, because like we joke about it, but like we were really a team that all smoked weed and all drank and all went out every single night, but still went out the next day and performed as professionals and handled our business. So we were able to, for a while, kind of burn it on both ends, you know, no pun intended, but we would have a lot of fun off the court, but then we also had a lot of fun on the court. And rarely do you find those teams like that. You know, obviously, as Run TMC, we wish we could have stuck together longer. We didn't even have a season. We believe was 28 games. And then the playoffs, you know what I mean? So it was really like that, but I think the impact we've been able to have on the Bay Area because we were so relatable, we were touchable, we were in the streets, and people just had a lot of fun watching us. And Mully said it, Steve Kerr said it, the energy in Oracle during that time has probably never be duplicated. You know, I was back there to win a championship, and it wasn't even close to how loud you guys had it rocking when we were in the first round of the playoffs in 2007, so.
I got to play on a lot of teams, but like he said, the relationships, bro. We was in each other's weddings. Like the relationships we have lasted our whole careers when we played on other teams. I'm still closest with the people I played with here in Oakland through all the teammates I had. So that says a lot, and that means a lot, bro, because you know some players you know some guys you play with are not even here right now. You know, some guys that you play with are not in the best situation financially or where their life is. You know what I mean? So to see all my brothers who I told I love, and everybody's doing well, families is doing well, we all doing great things, I think that means a lot. You know, that means a lot, and it's a testament to the guys and the men, you know what I'm saying, that we were at the time, but the men that my teammates have grown to be.
Well, Jay Rich just said he could do it today, so hey, we might be building this out as we speak. Forgive me. We got
historic day today.
We got Monte's in town. Jay Rich just said
Baron Davis is the wild card.
Yeah, Baron is the one that
always
has to kind of.
As y'all know, just like we played, Beatty is. Yeah, Beatty is the. You know, he makes this whole thing go just like we did when we played, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just he's just not the brains no more. Matt's the brains now. You know what I'm saying? Beatty was running shit when we was playing. You know, he was the leader, but you know, Matt took over.
Anybody else? Anything?
Did y'all have like a favorite area that y'all used to like to kick in?
Jack's house.
1200 Lakeshore.
Yeah,
Oakland.
Lakeshore Drive.
Is that Lake Merritt? What's that lake called? Lake Merritt. Yeah, Lake Merritt. Oh man, that's the spot.
Jack had you win the windows to see the views and our coaches on top. And I don't know if you guys heard the story, but the first round we won, we went back to Jack's house to partake in a little bit of cannabis and some alcohol, and then we went to go see. Nellie had a after party or after the game party with all some sponsors and older fans, and so we went and stopped by. It was me, him, and Barron and a couple other people. And as soon as we walk in the door, Nellie yells, "Hey fellas, Woody's in the back rolling doobies," and we're looking at each other like, "What the fuck?" Like, keep in mind, we just finished the game.
We going on to the second round.
He said Woody Harrelson's in the back on his balcony rolling joints. Go back there and smoke with him. We're like, what the fuck? All right, don't have to tell us twice. So we went in there. We're smoking weed in our coach's house, or on the balcony, but in our coach's house. And then later that night, with
Wilson?
Woody. Owen Wilson was
Jessica
there.
Alba,
Yeah.
Kate Hudson.
It was low-key
That's
cracking.
that's all Barron's people. Yeah, Barron had everybody.
And then
Snoop,
after that,
everybody.
so after that, we went to the club in San Francisco out that way, and then Snoop had hit me. So me, Jack, and Barron went to Snoop's hotel at the Ritz right up the street, and my sister. We smoked so much weed that night that security came and banged on that bitch, and me and Jack are like we're in season.
This is the Ritz-Carlton, though.
The Ritz-Carlton in San Francisco. We're in season, so we're like, oh shit, like we about
just
to get
got out of
arrested.
trouble.
We, you know what I mean? Like we just won. These motherfuckers just come in and unscrew the windows and open the windows so the smoke can come out. And if you guys need anything, let us know. And what the fuck?
I'm like, really?
It's too good. Life is too good. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, Snoop's different.
Like,
Snoop's
yeah.
different.
Snoop, we had a pass with Snoop. Anybody else? All right, well, we'll keep you guys posted. You guys can hang around a little bit. We'll probably know in the next 30 minutes if we're going to do a We Believe show. If we do, it's going to be around 2 o'clock. Somebody from my team correct me? Oh, Vern's at 2:30? Well, I think that we believe will take priority. We'll make it work. So we'll keep you guys posted. You guys can hang out. There's food. We're going to go upstairs and partake. But we appreciate you guys showing up. I know there's a lot of shit going on. So thank you guys for spending some time with us.
And make sure you try our mezcal, Anillos, our mezcal. Make sure y'all try it while you're here.
It's a little early, but it's happy hour somewhere. So go ahead and grab yourself a drink. We got some food. And again, thank you guys for coming out.
Thank you.
This episode is brought to you by Boost Mobile.
Boost Mobile is now a legit nationwide 5G network. I know we stay joking, but let me take a second to put on my serious voice. Because this isn't a joking matter. Me personally, I will never joke about a 5G network that has invested billions in building 5G towers across the country.
Me neither.
Not even once.
Me neither.
Yeah, man.
Boost Mobile is now a legit nationwide 5G network and also provides coverage across 99% of America. Seriously. Visit boostmobile.com or your nearest Boost Mobile store for more information.
The Boost Mobile network, together with our roaming partners, covers 99% of the U.S. population. 5G speeds not available in all areas.
Tommy John's have changed the game. Their underwear are the most comfortable I've ever worn. They're silky soft, breathable, and lightweight. If you don't believe me, check the waistband. Ever since Tommy John has been sending me products, it's all I've been wearing. They're the true MVP in the underwear game. What are some of the problems that other underwear brands give you that Tommy John doesn't? These things let my balls breathe. And that's the most important thing. They hold them nice and tight, but they can also breathe. So get you some. Double down with comfort on Tommy John and get 25% off your first order right now at TommyJohn.com/smoke with the promo code SMOKE. Save 25% at TommyJohn.com/smoke. I'll see you there.